Okay, so I'm going to run you through a quickish video on how to set up a spreadsheet that you can use for your budget and give you some tips and things that you can do. Walk through this, make yourself a budget sheet, even if you actually never use this. I would suggest that you try it for a month and just see if it helps you out. It doesn't have to be complicated. This is a pretty basic and simple one that you could use. You can use it month to month because obviously things change as we go. So first thing, open up Excel, get yourself to a blank book here. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go down here to the bottom of sheet one, and I'm going to double click on it, and I'm going to name it blank budget. Because the key here is you're going to want to make a blank budget sheet that you can then copy to other things. So you want to kind of do this month by month. So I'm going to walk through this. I'll set it up. I won't go too fast, but you can pause, rewind, and things if you need to. And we're just going to kind of lay out a thing here that I could keep a running total of. The nice thing about this is, you should be able to have it right on your phone, or keep different notes and things. So we're going to have 4 sections. I'm going to make each of them 4 rows wide, or 4 columns wide. Sorry, 4 columns wide. So first thing I'm going to do is highlight the first 4 boxes here. And I'm going to go up to this right here, which is merge. All right, I'm going to merge this. I'm going to make it my income section. Oops, just income. I don't need to say incomes. Here I'm going to keep track of paychecks, things like that. If you have some sort of business, sell things on eBay or whatever, you can do that. I'm going to go down to maybe I'll leave a little room there because I'm going to have my totals and stuff up top. And I'm going to put in here date, amount, and then I'm going to put note. And then I'm going to merge the last 2 together. So I have note and already. I'm just going to go up to my merge button and merge them together. All right. So then I'm going to have all of that. This amount is going to be in dollars. So I'm going to highlight, I don't know, maybe down to like 30. And I'm going to hit this dollar sign right here. That'll make all of those in dollar amounts. I want all of these merged together so I can type things in there, and I'll still going to use my note a little later on. So I'm going to hit this format painter button with paintbrush. You guys have seen these before. And then I'm just going to drag down. They're not about the same spot. We'll just say 30 for everything. It'll merge those together for me. All right, so now I've got my income. I've got a section for everything to keep track of. And what I'm going to do right here is I'm going to put, monthly total for the little column. I want to have a spot where it shows me my monthly total. I'm going to merge those together, and I'm going to put it over on the right-hand side there. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to have this be my grand total for the whole month. So I'm going to hit equals, SUM, open the parenthesis, then I'm going to come down here into my amount column, and I'm going to drag myself down like that. Maybe 30 again, close my parenthesis, hit enter. It's already in dollars, so I'm good there. And then what's going to happen is if I type in, say I got paid on 1/7/21, and I got $350, and it was my paycheck, I can put that in there like that. I'm going to delete that out. So I'm not going to put anything in here. This is actually my blank one that I'm just going to use as my default thing to copy into my new forms. I'm going to skip a row, but I'm going to make it, or skip a column. I constantly say that wrong. Skip a column, but I'm going to make it not very big. And then I'll go over here. I'm going to get 4 again and merge it. I'm going to put fixed expenses. Now, if you've been paying attention, these are things that you have to pay each month. So I'm going to highlight this right here, 30 things, and I'm going to copy it. And then I'm going to come over here and I'm going to paste it. And the good thing that does is it merges everything. These are already in dollars. If you type 600 in there, it's already in dollars because they copied it. Fixed expenses. I want a monthly total. And then I want a budgeted amount. And I'm going to call this 50%. Because again, if you've been paying attention, we did like the 50, 30, 20 thing was on one of the things. I'm going to merge those, put it over to the right. I'm going to merge this and put it over to the right. And then I'm going to sum this. So equals SUM. And amount here. And I'm going to close that. And then what I'm going to do for my budgeted amount is, if I'm doing this for real, I'm going to hit equals. And then I'm going to hit this monthly total. And I'm going to do times 0.5 for 50%. And I'm going to hit enter. And then basically what's going to happen is as I put money into my amount, I get paid. It's going to tell me how much I should be spending in this category right here. Okay. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put underneath here amount left over. And these guys over here. So merge and right. And this is going to be equals this minus this, the budgeted amount minus whatever that I have. Now, this number might end up being off. Not off. It might end up being negative, like there's nothing left over because you're going to see a running total. And as we go in. So now in your fixed income, or fixed expenses. I spelled that wrong. Fixed expenses. Things like your rent, your cell phone bill, things that happen every month want to go in here. All right, and you can put them in as you pay them. You can put them all in at the beginning of the month, whatever the situation is. So I'm going to make this a little smaller again. And then right here, I'm going to call these, center, merge that, flexible expenses. These are things that I don't necessarily have to have happen. So if I go out to dinner, or if I go see a play or a movie, or I go on a trip, all right, those are all flexible expenses. So I copied that over, and I'm also going to cheat here. I'm going to copy these things over to there. All right. So now everything is already, all the formulas are in there. I'm going to change my budgeted amount. This was my 30% category. Then I'm going to go into my formula, and I'm going to type a 0.3 there to fix that. So it's 30%. Okay. And I'm going to keep, these are things I can easily keep track of as the month goes on. I can, start to work on things. And I'm going to walk through some of this with a fake budget for a month in a different video. So I'm going to have my last column here. And this is going to be merge that, savings, debt payments, and you can add other columns. I'm doing a pretty simple budget here, so I'm not going to get crazy with things, but you could very easily have a column where you're trying to save for, say, a car, or you're trying to save. So I copied that over. I'm not going to do anything at the same time. I'm going to copy this over also. Change that to 20%. Put 8.2 into there. I could have another column that's maybe I'm saving for a car, so I can shrink this. And I could put car savings, and then at the top, maybe I don't put monthly total. I put amount to save, and then I put. Let me do. So let me put one right here. Rather than just talk. Let's say saving for trip to Disney. I actually don't like Disney, but let's say that. And then let's say amount. And let's say, like to make things look professional. If I ever show anybody gets to it, they can see it. And then let's say amount saved. And let's say amount. Right, then let's merge these things. We'll merge that and go to the right. And then again, this painter button saves me a lot of time. I'm going to click that. Drag it over those three. Okay, I'm going to use the same setup here. Date amount and note. I like to use that setup because it works for about anything. Copy that. Stay right there. I got to put some formulas in here. So this is, I don't know, let's say I have no idea how much it costs to live. Let's say it costs $1,500. Okay, amount saved is going to be equal to SUM of this amount right here. Sorry, the right spot, 30. Amount left to save equals to this top number minus this number. I think dollars, so what's this? All right, and then basically as I save, I'll put things in there. Now this is something, now the good news is, let's say you are also saving for a car. All right, we can go like this, and we can put in there. So I can just copy, I'm just gonna click these rows, Control C, and I go over here into this first column, click that. What I'm going to do is saving for car. And this could be something that you're doing like super long term. Let's say I need $7,000. Okay, and then save. So now I have that column too, and I can add these things on. All right, so this is my blank budget sheet that I'm going to use for each month. So then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go and add a new sheet, and I'll say January. And then what I would suggest you do, because then that way you don't have to recreate this every month, I'm going to go to my blank budget. If I click this top corner thing, it highlights the whole entire thing. I'm going to hit Control and C to copy it. And then I'm going to go to my new budget, click the top corner there, and just click Control V, and it'll paste everything in. And then I can do this for each month. All right, so then let me show you how I would go about using this thing. It looks really complicated, but it's all going to do all the math for me. All right, so again, let's say I get paid on the 7th. Let's say I get paid, $12. Note, and I'll say paycheck. Now it's got numbers in there, which means it's not big enough. So I'm going to go up here, and I'm just going to double click on that, and it'll open it up bigger. And that'll happen in spreadsheets like this. You can, and see, so I had an issue with this right here automatically. So let's undo it. I'm going to show you how to fix this. Go back to my blank budget. And what happened is when I copied this stuff over, it has the wrong cell here in the beginning there. So this needs to be C2 each time. That's going to be wrong in every one of these. So it kept moving it. I forgot to hard reference it. So I just had to fix those two. And then what I'm going to do, I'm just going to copy those. Sorry about that. I don't want to redo the whole video. I'm just going to paste them. Does you want to replace it? Yes, I do. And what you can see now is if it was set up right the first time, it's telling me how much money I should spend in each of these categories. So we'll say I get that paycheck, and with your paycheck I put in, let's say I get paid every 2 weeks. So 21. Paycheck. All right, let's say I got a number in here. I will put that. We'll open it up. And then let's say I put it, let's say I have to pay my rent on the 1st. And my rent is $750 rent. And let's say on the 15th, I have to pay my RG&E. Let's say my RG&E is $150 RG&E. And let's say on the 16th, I have to pay my cell phone. Let's say my cell phone is $75. And put some right in there. And then see what happened is there, I formatted it incorrectly and it didn't like it. So what I'm going to do, I always just edit it to me, but I'm just going to hit the format painter button, go paintbrush. Paintbrush gets you out of a lot of trouble. Let's say my internet cost me $50. I got green light. Let's just say internet. You can put green light in there, whatever you want. In your note, you can put due dates, you can put the day you paid it, you can put all kinds of different things in there. Flexible expenses. So let's say on the 6th, I spent $200 on clothes. And let's say on the 10th, I spent $75 on dinner at Applebee's. I don't know which one that's so I got a trouble going up with one. And let's say on the 15th, I spent $50 at and then dinner. I went there and got a bunch of junk from the hot bar. Okay, the same thing there. And then let's say over here, since I'm supposed to put $480 into my savings or debt payments, let's say that I'm paying my student loans and I'm like paying them faster than I need to. So let's actually start over. Let's say I have to pay my student loans on this day here, and I have to pay $270. Well, let's not go over that. Let's say I have to pay $100 student loan. But then let's say I'm paying my student loans faster than I need to. So $100 is my payment I have to make. And then let's say I'm going to pay my student loans faster than I need to, so I'm going to pay an extra $100. I'm going to pay student loan additional payment. All right, now, this is showing up stupid. It's because it's centered. I'm going to left justify it. It's all there, even though it's not. I'm not going to stretch that out so it's but I'm just going to put in there so it looks a little bit better. All right, and then let's say 115. I put $150 in my savings account. Okay, now I got $230. Let's say 117.21. I put $100 into my Disney trip savings, and then I got to come over here. 121.21. Amount 100, and I'll just say January. Okay, so I'm keeping track of that. And then let's say, all right, so on the 18th, let's say I take this additional 130. I've paid all my bills. I'm going to put this into my car savings. So I'm probably at the end of the month when I have money left over. And I'm going to come over here and say 131, 30. And I'm going to put in there January left over savings. And again, I'm going to put that on the left hand side so it looks a little better. Okay? And let's say this is what happened this month. This is what happened. So I have 75 extra dollars in my fixed expenses that I did not spend, and I have $395 in my flexible expenses that I did not spend. I can see right there that I have that extra money available to me to do something else. Maybe I'm thinking, okay, well, I've got around $450 there. Maybe I go buy some clothes or something. So I enter into here. Or maybe I'm thinking, you know what, I really want this car. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put in here, like, I don't know, at the end of the month, I'm going to put in $75 left over into savings. I'm just keeping track of things so that I can come back here and know where my money went. Left that again. All right, and maybe right here, maybe I put all of this into Disney. Left over into Disney savings. Then what I'm going to do, I'm going to come over here and I'm going to say 131.21, 395, January, flexible, putting notes so I know where the money comes from. And that to me is the most important thing when I'm keeping a budget. $75. Okay, that's going to keep happening. So one of the things I'm going to do in a minute, I'm going to go back to my Fit budget and I'm going to fix something. So there's my January budget. I can come in and look at it. I can see where my money went. You can see that I have nothing in any of these categories down here. I'm $1,000 away from going to Disney World, and I'm $6,700 away from going getting a new car. All right, so then get to the next one. I'm not doing this right side. Double click on there. February, again, I go to my blank budget. I'm going to copy it, but I'm going to make a change. This keeps being centered, and it keeps messing up what it's supposed to look like. So I'm going to highlight this, and I'm going to go up here and click left, align left. All right, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit the paintbrush, and I'm going to just click it, and then I'm just going to click in the top. All right, and that actually, no, I'm not going to do that. Sorry. I'm going to highlight this. We'll do it the right way. I'm going to highlight this. I'm going to hit the paintbrush, and then I'm going to come over here, and I'm going to highlight this column so it makes all of that the same. And I'm going to paintbrush this again. So I'm fixing my default one that I use to make everything so that they're going to be left now. I don't have to keep doing that. All right. And then let me show you something else here. I'm going to fix this so that it quits doing that. And basically, as you make an Excel spreadsheet, you just kind of keep learning things as you go. And you're like, I need to add this, I need to add this, I need Just keep doing that. And the nice thing is if you keep a blank one that you can work with like this, you can always edit it. So I fixed that error that it was giving me, making it paint. So I'm going to hit this guy here. I'm going to copy it. I'm going to go to February, and I'm going to paste it. All right, but now the issue is this saving stuff, I've already got things in it from January. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to January. These two things, I'd like to keep that information in there. So I'm just going to highlight the columns. I'm going to copy it. I'm going to come back to February. And I'm just going to go over top of it. And I'm going to paste it. And it'll paste it in there for me. And now I can keep adding that on there. And I'll do that every month. And then let's say I go to Disney in March. And this is done. I just won't put this in the next one. All right. And I'll come back to my blank budget. And I'll take saving to Disney. I'll just delete it right out of there. That it doesn't keep coming up. So you want your Excel thing to be a work in progress all the time. It escapes, so that's done there in January. And then in February, I'm going to work on the same thing. And the nice thing about this is it's flexible in that if you maybe get paid 3 times 1 month and you only get paid twice, or you work extra hours, or you pick up a side job for a month, this will always adjust to whatever you're doing. If you've never done anything like this before, try it out. All right, try it out for a month and see. If you're really trying to spend 50% of your budget on fixed expenses and you're continually $400 over, is there something that you can do? Can you, spend less money on groceries? Can you buy more things that are on sale? Can you lower your cell phone bill? Can you lower your RG&E bill? Maybe you have to move to a cheaper apartment. Do you get a roommate? There's lots of things that you can do to try to help yourself out when you're doing this. And, you can keep working across here. When you get to the end of the year, you could save that file as 2021 and then start a new one for 2022. But you could still come in here, grab this blank worksheet and take it to your new thing. So if anything pops up here that doesn't make sense, shoot me a message if you want to use this. If you want to know how to add something in, or if something's not clear, or if you have a question about something, what would I do in this situation? Let me know. But this is something that I have one of these. It doesn't look exactly like this. Mine's a little more complicated because of the business. But I do everything in Excel. Everything. I have all my email lists and everything else in Excel too, because it does so many different things. So I'm going to close with this. If you're in college, if you're going to college, or if you're just anybody, and you're looking for something to do that's worth your time, take Excel classes. All right, take classes in Excel and things that you might use it for, but even like a beginner Excel class, they're always beneficial. You're going to learn so many things that Excel does that you never, ever knew that it could do. So I always suggest if you're in college and you're looking for a class that's going to be beneficial to you, take an Excel class. Take an Excel class. If you're, have a job. A lot of the community organizations that do community education, they'll have Excel classes. They're super, super useful. It does so many things and it can make your life so much easier.